Alright, what's up everyone? This is Vesper, and I'm here with Killy. We're doing another podcast. This time we're going to talk about the last two characters revealed for Street Fighter V, which is Rashid and Karin, and then maybe some other stuff afterwards, like maybe KOF. Anyways, let's start with Rashid. Killy, first off, what's up?
Nothing. Nothing much.
Well, we haven't done a podcast in a while, actually, and some of the reason for that is because you were actually sick, Killy.
Yes.
You weren't feeling good.
No.
Not good, man. But you're feeling better now, right?
Yeah, a little bit better, yes.
That's good. Okay, so Rashid, first overall impression of this character, Killy. You go first.
I'm kind of impartial to the character. I don't think he looks like... I don't really care about the design and...
What about the DBZ Scouter?
It's whatever. It's funny. It's like slightly funny and stuff like that. He's very... like, there's a lot of personality to the character. But I'm not particularly hype over it, nor am I really dismissing the character either. I'm more concerned about like gameplay more so than aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
same here, right? Same here.
Yeah. So from a gameplay perspective, I don't find him particularly interesting. He's got like decent tools, but I don't know. Overall, he seems kind of bad. I don't know. A lot of his moves look unsafe to me.
Just from the footage alone, right?
Yeah, yeah. So until like people actually like really figure stuff out with the character, I'm not particularly interested.
I saw Momochi play him a little bit. He found some stuff with him, but I didn't see anything that really like lit up a light bulb, you know, and be like, oh, okay, I see how you play this character now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so far we got two characters revealed for Street Fighter V. In terms of the new characters, comparing that to Street Fighter IV, do you have anything to add? Like, is it just, you know, do you see something different in Ono's design of new characters?
Well,
a different trend?
Like the gameplay for all the new characters, and it's really tough to say because we have the original 4 from SF4 versus only 2 right now in SF5. But the original 4 in SF4 were all mix-up heavy characters. They had like pretty bad footsie tools. At least in vanilla SF4.
Okay.
They had pretty bad footsie tools, and then they relied completely on like special moves to kind of do their thing. Right?
Are you like
either from
Viper?
A neutral? Huh?
Are you referring to like Viper?
Viper, Abel, Rufus, and Forte. None of them had like good footsie tools really. Like they had maybe a couple good pokes here and there, but overall they used special moves or command normals to either play neutral or run mix-ups, and all 4 characters were vortex-based characters.
It's hard to play neutral in the first place though in Street Fighter 4 just because of the focus attack alone.
Yeah, but it doesn't help that they had crap normals and like bad overall like neutral game tools. Like their neutral game revolved around using special moves. Like that's really bad in itself.
And so
it's not good design in my opinion.
So what are you saying about the Street Fighter V characters?
And the Street Fighter V characters, they're not like that at all. They're still fundamental based. They still work within the confines of Street Fighter.
Okay.
So my gripe with SF4 with those 4 characters is that they don't fit within the confines of Street Fighter because they're special move reliant, they're vortex based characters, etc. Right? So they don't play like traditional Street Fighter where you play that ground game, that neutral game.
Okay.
But at least with Rashid and Nikali, they do play that neutral game. They do have to play footsies. They do have to kind of watch their pokes and stuff like that. It's not like they can just throw out special moves.
They're not way like over the top.
Yeah, they just can't throw special moves and get in for free. That's basically, or like command normals and get in for free. They have to earn. They have to earn their damage. They have to earn it through the footsie game or through the neutral game. Like Rashid has a lot of like different special moves that are forward moving and stuff like that, but a lot of them are really unsafe on blocks. So it's not like you can just throw it out there and then get in for free that way.
Yeah, another thing the first thing I said when I saw Rashid, I was happy that he wasn't a goofy character.
He's kind of goofy from an aesthetic.
He's kind of goofy when you look at him aesthetically, yes.
Yeah.
But like, you know, my way of saying goofy is like basically what you're saying, where they're really over the top characters. You know what I mean? That really just kind of not play in their own realm of the same fighting game.
Yeah.
But Rashid seems more grounded, I guess. He's got some play styles that are similar to some other characters, which we'll go over soon. But for the most part, I'm happy with the new characters so far in Street Fighter V that are new to the series. I'm happy with their bringing to the table, especially Rashid's V-Trigger. So anyways, let's start just going over some things with Rashid. Just kind of opinions on certain things. Let's start with his V-Skill. So Rashid's got 2 V-Skills with 2 variants on them. So one, he could just press the mediums and he'll do this front flip, and it basically looks like Ibuki's command jump. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And he'll jump to the other side, and then any point you can press kick, and you'll do the normal dive kick. And you can do an EX version of that dive kick. I don't know what the command is. I'm assuming it's just 2 kicks, and he'll do the EX dive kick. And then he has another V skill where he presses down in the mediums, and he'll do a front roll. And then if you press kick during the roll, then he'll do a kick attack. So it's basically like a roll and an attack at once, and then that's how you gain, V gauge, basically, with the follow-up dive kick or the roll kick. So you could just use the roll just by itself. You don't have to kick. Like, you could just roll under a fireball and maybe throw the opponent or even combo him depending on, the timing, the recovery, right?
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't get any V gauge through that.
So much versatility off V skill. Like, he gets like 4 different V skills, basically, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't do this, but every time I see a new V skill in the game, I always compare it to Chun-Li. You know what I mean? You look at this guy's V skill and you look at Chun-Li's, and it's like, what the hell, man? Like, it's better in almost every way. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I really feel like how come I should go back on Chun-Li's V skill and just change this damn thing? Because it just bugs me. Or at least, why don't they just add a second part to Chun-Li's V skill, like a stomp kick or something, and then just so she can gain meter. That's all I want. That's all I want. I hate to constantly talk about Chun-Li, but I don't know, man. It's just like the more V skills they add to the game, they're just so much versatility, especially compared to the vanilla part of the cast. We got at the starting where Nash is just absorbs a projectile. You know what I mean? Nash is actually okay because he can use it as a poke, his V skill.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Nash is fucking ass.
Oh man, we should talk about Nash in this podcast.
Oh Jesus Christ! We'll
I don't want to get off topic.
I'll go in. I'll go in.
You'll go in later?
Deep. I'll go in balls deep on how bad Nash is.
Oh man. Okay. Anyways, let's try to stay on topic. In case you guys didn't know, Nash got nerfed again, but we'll go over that later. Anyways, yeah. So, any thoughts on his V skill in particular? I was just talking about it.
It seems hard to gain V gauge with it because I think all the follow-ups are like unsafe on block, so it's like, I don't know.
Well, the rolling kick is really practical. You know what I mean? You gain
against fireballs, but like, what about the characters who don't use fireballs? Like, you can't just throw it.
Well, but you can still use it as just the roll. That's what I'm saying.
You can use it for the baits and stuff like that because he does that backflip, right?
Yeah.
So you can use it for other purposes, but you're not getting V gauge as a result of it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how not practical, but how useful those follow-ups are. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you find any characters having weak V skills besides Chun-Li? Like, is there any one in particular that stands out? Do you think, or they all seem pretty well rounded? Like, you agree with me, Chun-Li's V skill is ass,
yeah, it's
right?
probably the worst.
Okay.
I don't know. Bison's just like, yeah, it's good against projectiles, but like the parry aspect doesn't seem that.
Can you parry cross-ups with Bison's V skill?
Yeah, but then
he automatically falls up with a projectile no matter what.
Yeah. So
and
you
then you're
yourself
open.
vulnerable.
You're gonna get blown up anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know about Vega. Like Vega, you can combo into it, but Nikali, it's really slow. It's like Viper's Seismo. Like at least with Viper's Seismo, if you force them to block, you can like feint cancel. Like you can super jump cancel out of it to keep yourself like safe. But with Nikali, you can't. So you gotta eat all that recovery, regardless if they block it or if they get hit or if it whiffs. So just I don't know about. It's like you can combo into Nikali, so that automatically is a lot better. But and we haven't really seen much of Vega, so I don't know like how good Vega's V skill is.
The fact that it's a dodge in itself means you can use it outside of just avoiding projectiles, though.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't think it's something where you can just mash it to get you out of problems. Right?
The fact that you can combo into it as a target
is also
combo
good.
really makes up for it. Yeah, I was really hoping every character would have like some kind of target combo that they can reliably combo their V-Skill. And honestly,
but obviously you can't do it with characters like Ryu and stuff like that. It's just not happening.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about some of Rashid's. Well, let's talk about his V reversal. It's a sliding roll. It's very similar to Nash.
Yeah, in terms of its purpose, it's exactly the same.
Like, Vega rolls backwards, and he has two variants. One where he does one backflip, another one where he does two. And it's like, if you're in the corner, it doesn't really help you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Unless, like, you're baiting a very specific attack, but you're still in the corner.
Like,
Whereas Rashid gets you out.
I just want to know what's the recovery like on Rashid's V reversal. I mean, if it's good, then yeah, then it's not too bad. But
because Nash it's so much recovery that it, you know what I mean, you're out, it gets you out of the corner, but like you can't really use it as a way to start an offense.
Yeah,
you know.
I like to see if Rashid would have a backwards roll, like back 3 kicks or something like that, and then he rolls backwards. Then what I do is I would related to KOF's guard cancel roll.
Okay.
The way you used it in KOF, you didn't use it to like get out of the corner all the time because there was some like inherent risk with using it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You would use it to punish certain predictable block strings. The way you would do it is that you'd actually like guard cancel roll, like in the corner if they were pressuring you, they were doing a predictable block string. You'd actually like guard cancel roll backwards to cause their block string to whiff, and then you whiff punish them afterwards.
Yeah, you're talking like in CVS2 with N groove, right? You're able to blow one stock to roll when you're blocking, basically, right?
Yeah.
But in KOF, you can choose to go back or forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's ways where you'd actually on purpose go backwards to punish block strings.
Mm-hmm.
Same with like forward. Forward would also be used to punish block strings too, but like it wasn't used to just like as an escape. You could use it to punish like predictable strings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see like Rashid gain a backwards V reversal as well.
I see. Well, like we got some rumors. Someone said that everyone got 2 V reversals now in the newest build. And it turns out that was like so wrong. It's not even funny.
Like I don't even
only
know how...
Vega. I don't know who the hell gave out that information, but it's like they see Vega has 2 V reversals, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, by the way, guys, every character has 2 V reversals now." It's like I just don't understand how that information got spread, but it's wrong. Like it's just Vega, and like so I thought, okay, they're really working on making these V reversals more important, more useful, and it seems like they're still more or less the same.
Well, I think it is confirmed that V reversals also automatically reduce stun.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because that was always in the game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was even in the beta version. I saw someone mention that too, and I'm like, it's always been in the game, so I don't... It's like people are trying to grasp straws to make this sound like it's good, but I don't know.
It's still pretty good.
I want more of it. I just really like the idea that there's something in the game that makes you spend your V gauge besides your V-Trigger. And I just want it to be something because, like I said, man, everyone's saying the game is really simple right now because there's not too much in the game mechanics-wise.
Yeah.
And the main thing of the game is the V system: V-Trigger, V-Skill, and V-Reversal. And the V-Reversal doesn't feel new enough. It's alpha counter for most characters. I want a brand new mechanic, especially when it costs 1 bar.
Yeah.
Like I said, like when I see someone spending 1 bar, I think of it like spending 20% of your health because that's what it took to get it in the first place. You know what I mean? It's got to be worth it. I like the V reversals that get you out of the corner. Like I really like Cammy's, for example. Cammy's got a really good V reversal. She kicks on the other side. It's a cross up. But there's just some characters that I don't know. Just not feeling it, right?
They just wish it wasn't so easily baitable, like unintentionally baitable.
Yeah, and it's not even like the damage that you do or anything like that bugs me about it. Like I don't want it to be like instant kill or anything.
No.
I just want, its function to be more useful.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being able to bait V reversals, but when it's getting to the point where they're baited by accident, it's kind of silly. You know? So yeah, anyways, let's talk about some more of Rashid's attacks here. So we got his, excuse me, spinning mixer. It's where he twirls around, and he can do it in 3 different directions, depending on the strength. And when I was watching footage of it, when I was doing the breakdown, I noticed that some spins that were going in the same direction were doing more hits than others. So I automatically assumed there's a way to make you do, like, spin longer and do more hits, so I assumed it was mashing on the button. And it turns out I was right when you look at the command list, which was released afterwards. The more you press the punch button in whatever direction you're going, the more you'll spin, the more hits you'll do. So you're probably thinking, what's the point of that? And if you choose not to mash at all and you just do it raw, you can kind of make the move safe, especially on the horizontal one. So I saw Momochi abusing that. He kept on doing the spinning mixer with light punch, and he just hit them like once or twice with the tail end, and he was at advantage, and he was able to keep pressuring with it. It was just one way for Rashid to get in, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like the one going up is his reversal. So at least he's got, you know, some kind of anti-air DP move, right? It's also got some good juggle properties. Like, it's good for combo filler, too, which Rashid needs, right? But it just looks like Rashid looks like he's going to have trouble just getting in because his eagle spike, that's the move where he kicks forward. It kind of looks like a what's it called? Not a condor spire. Or is it a condor spire when he goes straight forward?
Yeah. But he then on block he like backflips, right? And that's super punishable.
Yeah. And it's got a little startup to it too, and during that startup, he's completely vulnerable. And you can just get punched out of it, like kind of like the startup of a hooligan, for example.
Yeah.
So that move is kind of iffy. But here's the thing: we see Rashid doing a lot of running, and it turns out that run is actually his dash. So his dash is a run.
Yeah.
And we saw in the trailer he was able to cancel out that run with the eagle spike. So I assumed, oh, he can cancel out of his run. But looking at the command list, it turns out he can only cancel 2 things out of his run, which is, once again, a dash. And that's his spinning mixer and eagle spike. And you just press forward punch to cancel his run out with the spinning mixer. And forward kick to cancel out the eagle spike. But I don't understand what the point of that would be. You know what I mean? Why would you risk running towards the opponent and doing these 2 unsafe moves? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know. It's
because like if we use Alfuerte as an example, Alfuerte, he does some unsafe shit when he runs towards you, but he can always stop. He can always run backwards. He can cancel out of it with a run back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his run in itself can you can use as an EX move and gain some armor on it. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of applications to it. His whole core is around it. So this thing that Rashid gets is kind of gimmicky because I don't see what the use of it would be.
Like, and then when people catch on to it, it just feels like he'll never be able to use it effectively. Like, it's just too easy to like bait and punish.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing I do like with Rashid is his wall jump. Wall jumping, like Vega can wall jump, Chun-Li can wall jump, but like Rashid's got a decent jump, just in general.
Yeah.
And that's great. But the fact that he can dive towards the opponent with wall jump is crazy. So to do that, a normal wall jump is when you touch the wall, you just press up forward, and you'll jump off the wall. And if you press down forward instead, Rashid will actually swoop downwards towards the opponent. And you can hit him with like a really meaty attack, like hard kick, for example, and start up a combo. And I think that's a really reliable way for Rashid to start his offense, which is ironic, which is when he's in the corner, when he's not rushing you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. I haven't seen someone do like a swoop down from the wall and then do like an empty jump and then hit them low, for example. That'd be really cool. So there's that. I like that about Rashid. Terms of EX moves. So yeah, in the trailer, Killy, there's a part in the end where Rashid does a dive kick, an EX dive kick at the end, and then he does a kick upwards. You know, like the last hit of Phelan's Ultra, where he like kicks the opponent upwards.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what the hell is that move? You know what I mean? Because we don't see a normal version. And I automatically assumed it was the EX version of the spinning mixer. But it turns out, no. If you do the EX dive kick, Rashid automatically kicks upwards at the end. Like, you know how T-Hawk has the two-part condor? Yeah, and goes up. Yeah, it's automatic. Kind of threw me off because I assumed that too, but then Rashid's not flashing yellow from the way down and on the way up. Like, it's not a complete blinking, so I thought it was two separate moves. But it's not. It's just one move. So if you do hit someone with an EX dive kick, expect to be going upwards right after. I don't know. That's kind of strange, right? Yeah. I guess I'm kind of happy that we're not giving dive kick characters too much easy offense. But at the same time, the dive kicks aren't looking that good either. You know? Yeah. Necalli's dive kicks got a lot of startup. It's mostly like kind of like an Evo Ryu or Akuma dive kick.
Yeah, it's like a juke as well, right? This additional slow startup just to throw off anti-air timing.
Yeah, that's what I think so too, right? It's not like Rufus or Young where you just roll your.
You don't get
back.
to start offense for free with the dive kick,
and then you're plus like 50.
Yeah. So you have to actually use it with like intent and purpose, which is like the general theme that combo Fiend has been kind of mentioning since E3 is that everything he says everything is like you have to do it with intent and purpose.
Okay. So what's the intent and purpose of Rashid running towards you and doing a eagle spike and then getting blown up?
I don't know, man. There's something off of his design.
Well, it's not like it's Combo Fiend's design.
No. I'm just talking about Rashid. Like, there's something off of him. It just feels like everything's like really unsafe. It's just like it's hard to use his tools to approach. Like, he shouldn't get in for free, but at the same time, there has to be like a use for it. And like right now, I don't see the use. But like again, I haven't really been following Rashid too much, so I don't know. Maybe there's something that somebody else figured out that I didn't see yet.
Okay.
Which I guarantee you that's probably the case here. Like, someone will figure something out.
Oh yeah, of course. But this is just our initial impressions of it. Of course. Another thing I want to talk about is Rashid. He does this weird backflip in the video. He kind of like jumps really low backwards and does a backflip, and then he like looks like he's juking the opponent, and then he falls up with a hard kick in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then I see it a bunch of times in the match footage, and then I realized after looking at the command list, it's his backdash. This is like the craziest backdash I've ever seen.
That is a crazy backdash.
That is the craziest backdash I've ever seen. Like, seriously, it's a great backdash. He doesn't actually like separate ground from the opponent. Like, he's not really backdashing. You know what I mean? He's kind of just like going super high profile and then recovering really fast. So it's not used in the sense of getting defensive. It's just like a juke. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, like, I was looking at the video. I thought that maybe his command jump would have like 3 different variations in strength, but it turns out that it's just his backdash. That was like my other guess. So yeah, and then Rashid, I already mention that Rashid can do his dive kicks without using his V-Skill. It just says in his command list, eagle spike in the air, core circle back kick. So that means he could do it after his wall jump or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, let's talk about Rashid's Super. So Rashid's Super, there wasn't much footage of what it looks like when it whiffs. But basically, a tornado goes around Rashid himself in like a vertical hitbox. Have you seen it?
His what?
His Super.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the Super. It looks.
But have you seen it on whiff though?
No, I haven't.
Because like in the videos, it just looks like he kicks the opponent, right? It doesn't. You can't really see like what it looks like physically.
Yeah.
It's a tornado goes around him basically, and it's straight up like a vertical hitbox. So clearly, it looks like an anti-air, is what I'm saying.
Does it hit behind him?
No, it's like right on him. It's like a pillar right on top of his body. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. Think like Captain Commando, like corridor. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
You know
all
what I mean?
The way up? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely anti-air material.
Yeah. So I was thinking that, or he'll probably have like some easy way to juggle into it if the opponent's knocked up from his V-Trigger, for example, or something like that. So I'm just saying it's not just used like a Doesn't just have
combo, like combo extended.
Yeah, you can just use it raw. You know, it's kind of got that flexibility, like Bison, for example. Bison's super. You can even use it in the air. Oh man, Bison. Oh god. Anyways, yeah. So finally, let's talk about Rashid's V-Trigger. So a lot of people like to compare this to Aegis Reflector.
Not even close.
It's not really like that. It's more like Dalsum Zoga Catastrophe, because it's a moving projectile. It doesn't reflect, obviously. It nullifies projectiles, but it moves towards the opponent. Now, at first, I felt this was really strong, but the more I see it, you don't really have that much time to set stuff up, because it only does 3 hits. And if they block it, it gets nullified really fast, like the V-Trigger itself.
Yeah.
You don't really have that much time.
You get like maybe 1 mix-up.
Yeah, with Dalsum's like Catastrophe, it hits a lot, you know, like 5 hits or something. You have a lot of time to maybe hit a low and go for a quick overhead at the end. But Rashid looks like he have like 1 chance, basically, to knock him into this thing. On the flip side, Rashid does gain momentum. He gets sped up when he touches it with an attack, or if he jumps through it himself. So you will get in there, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how far the opponent is from you.
Yeah.
So you do get a mix-up. So that's good.
That's only if you do it close to them, though. If you do it full screen away, like, you don't really get a whole lot. It's like basically a momentum killer when you throw it out there from full screen.
Yeah, kind of like row styles, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then afterwards you can, like, hop into the tornado and get launched right into the, like, near the opponent. So that's like a get-in tool, sort of, but... Yeah, I don't know if that's
like,
a good
I'm just
use
saying
of
people...
It,
like, hopefully people aren't expecting that you jump over the projectile and you keep hitting with crouching light punches and he keeps getting knocked into it like a reflector and knocking back in. You know, it's not like that. Once they get hit by it, they flip up in the air and it's 3 hits, basically.
Yeah, and then the post combo isn't as strong.
No, it's not, and that's why I thought it was strong in the first place, because of the post combo, right?
Yeah.
But it looks like just a way to open the opponent and, like you said, relieve some pressure, right?
Yeah, at least he has a like command overhead, so that's always an option.
Yeah, he does. It's a forward hard punch.
Yeah. So like being able, so like knocked out. Like the good thing about it is that this thing lasts quite a while if they don't block it. So it actually like has a lot of active frames to it. So like you knock them down, you throw it out there. It doesn't matter if they quick get up or they don't. The active frames are good enough that when they wake up into it. So you get at least 1 opportunity for a mix-up.
And it's got a huge hitbox, man. It's huge.
And like, it moves forwards, too. So even if the quick tech backwards, like, it's moving towards them anyway. So it's like a constant threat. So it's like decent. It's pretty good, but it's not like amazing. It's not like you throw it out there and it's like free. It's just you throw it out there and then you have a couple options, but it's not overwhelming.
But it seems fairly safe to do. You know, you can definitely make some setups with it and not worry too much about it being you know, like specific scenarios. Like I said, the hitbox is so big, you don't have to worry about the opponent like jumping towards you or something, you know, messing up your game plan. Like
yeah, I think mostly I'm just disappointed that it's a 2-bar V gauge thing. Like with something like this, I'd like to see it to be a 1-bar, so you could use at least...
Oh, I know, man. I've been requesting that since the beginning, man. But it doesn't look like it. Like now, 100%, pretty much, every character's gonna have 2 or 3 bars.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I really hope V reversals wasn't the reason why they did that, because that would make me hate V reversals more than I already do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that might be the main reason why they did that. It kind of annoys me. But yeah, Rashid, we're definitely lacking some high-end footage. Like, I saw Momochi, he did this gimmick where he knocked down the opponent. He activated his V-Trigger with Rashid, and then he did his EX Eagle Spike through the opponent to cross him up, and then he got hit by the tornado. But it was only 3 hits, and then Momochi didn't follow anything up with it.
Yeah, because you need EX meter to follow up with. Like,
so, like, I don't know. Like, it was pretty cool, but...
The juggle system in SF5 really requires EX meter. Like, they don't really let you juggle with specials.
Okay.
Like, just a raw special. You need to like, spend meter to get that, the juggle, right? Like, look, remember, like, Ryu in the corner, if you do, like, jump jump medium punch or jump strong. You get both hits.
Mm-hmm.
Remember in like regular SF4 or something like that, you can go like DP after or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or even super ultra or whatever like that. But in like SF5, you gotta go EX DP.
Yeah.
So like it feels like they want to like in order to get juggles, you have to like spend meter for it. So if you're spending meter to open them up with Rashid, and then the post follow-up combo would need another EX bar, like 2 bars for that, and a V-Trigger, I don't know if it's worth it.
Like I said, I would have to get, you know, my hands on the character myself to really test out the combo things.
There's obviously like more things. Obviously you can do overhead, you can do low, you can do cross-ups, etc.
But you can't like just think that your V-Trigger is always up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, more than 50% of the match is going to be the neutral game. You know, that needs to be strong. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to wait till I get blown up. And then watch out, it's V-Trigger time, you know what I mean? Like, they designed this game in a way that you can't just rely on your V-Trigger to win. So
and I don't know what...
Unless
like,
you're Birdie.
His neutral tools kind of seem mediocre-ish? I don't know.
Okay.
Well, the fireball's interesting. I give him that. The fireball, the angle.
We didn't even talk about the fireball. I don't even know how we missed that. He's got a really unique projectile. It's
like Ramthal's projectile in Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I saw someone mention that. I was thinking that too. Hey, but for the people that don't know, it swoops forward and then swerves upwards, straight up. It's really weird. It's not really used for zoning, especially full screen, but it definitely can be used to like juggle your opponent if he jumps. Like, jumping is not the answer for this projectile. It's really weird.
It is for zoning because it is meant to control space. You throw it out there because you want to deter your opponent from approaching from the air at like mid the full screen. So you throw it. You don't do it to like annoy him with just fireballs to force a reaction. You throw it out there to control space. Like regular fireballs, they travel horizontally, and the guy has to like jump over or block or whatever. This guy, you throw it out there. Yeah, they can stay still, but you're forcing them to stay still.
It's funny, man.
You're controlling space. You're proactively controlling space with the fireball, and so you also throw them off because the strength of the fireball, or the strength that you use for the fireball, increases the startup of it
drastically.
Yeah,
drastically.
So maybe you throw out like 2 light versions, so they're quick, like they're really quick.
Yeah,
the light version of it. And then like you throw out the heavy version instead, and so like the opponent, like, oh, he's just gonna throw fireball. So it's like, okay, well, these 2 are fast, they're not doing anything, and then when they try to jump, the heavy version, they might catch them because it's like, oh crap, it's slower. And then all of a sudden they get clipped by it. So it's like, that's the way you should be using it. I mean, there's also ways you can use it within block strings, but like from a mid to full screen, that's the potential of the fireball right there, is you use it to control space and throw your opponent off by varying up the strength to increase the startup. So it throws off their angle of approach.
And it's funny too, because like, you know, this character looks like he's intended to be rushed down, but he just so happens to have one of the best projectiles. I don't know. It's amusing.
I wonder if you can cancel like cancel his into his V-Trigger. So you go fireball V-Trigger.
I don't know. Nash certainly can't.
Not anymore. God,
but like the EX version of his projectile does go quite far actually.
Yeah,
but you have to spend a meter.
It travels farther horizontally before going.
And the best part is you can juggle after it. Like, it's a huge punish if the opponent jumps. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. That's one cool thing about Rashid.
I think it's faster startup too.
Yeah, I like right now the way I see it playing him is more of like keep away. You know what I mean? Right now, it's kind of strange. Until I see what that run cancel is like really used for. Like, if only his EX projectile is more of like a mini V-Trigger, where it would be like, you know, Dulcim, where he throws a really slow fireball at you,
or he throws 2 fireballs.
Yeah, or 2 or something like that. That'd be cool, because then you can use his run. You know what I mean? To get in real fast.
Yeah.
and it would make more sense. And then
something like prolonged to stay on the screen, so that you can use it as an approach
ground,
tool.
You know what I mean? So, but I guess his V-Trigger could be used like that too. But then it already speeds you up. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like a waste of the V-Trigger to do something like that.
Yeah, that's true, right? Because it's two bars right there.
Yeah. So he's in this weird middle ground where you're not really sure.
And like if you mix him up with it, it's gonna knock him up in the air for 3 hits, and then you really have to follow up with something to make this worth it to open him up, because it basically screws up your combo once you get hit by this thing, because it's 3 hits. It doesn't do that much damage.
Yeah.
So maybe
the scaling kicks in and all that stuff. Yeah, the scaling
kicks in hard. You know. Did you know that activating your V-Trigger like mid combo counts as a hit in the combo scaling?
No, I did not.
Did you know that? So like, if you do like, I don't know, Ryu crouching hard punch, it'll go down to 90%, and then when you activate your V-Trigger, it goes down to 80%, and the next hit goes down to 70%.
Oh wow, the scaling kicks in hard.
It does kick in hard. Yeah. I think that's it for Rashid, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about everything we need to talk about here. So, like I said, I think we're really, really lacking some good players to really show us what the potential of Rashid is.
I think we're still lacking info on Rashid in general.
Yeah, like with Karin, it's a little easier to see the potential of the character, but with Rashid, it's really hard.
Yeah.
So, until then, guys, we'll get some more Rashid stuff before we can really say anything concrete. So, 1 second here. Let me open up Karin's move list, which is a lot. Okay, so let's talk about Karin. Karin, what do you think about the reveal? Did that surprise you for TGS?
A little bit, because of the licensing issues with Karin. Like, I was kind of iffy on whether she'd be in it or not. However,
you think Capcom pulled some strings for this?
Possibly. I mean, if the licensing issue was as bad as people made it out to be, then yeah, they must have did something to get Karin back.
Yeah, they did, man. Like, they really did make it sound like she was never coming.
Yeah, but this is a good addition for the fan base, because Karin's like one of the...
Definitely the #1 in Japan.
Yeah, like a huge fan favorite character. So having her back is like a smart move on Capcom's part.
Mm-hmm.
Being surprised was like, okay, slightly, but not like a whole lot, just because of how requested she was.
I was surprised, but it definitely was one of my predictions, like Sakura or Karin. I kind of found it a little strange how Capcom announced it, because announcing at TGS makes sense, but they didn't like do it live on like a live stream. I don't know what was up with that. Like, everyone basically found out from word of mouth, or waiting for like all of a sudden the NDA drops and then all these websites start releasing the trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least Capcom Unity was kind of swift. Like Hans, he put up a blog real quick on her about a few hours after.
Yeah.
But really, like, honestly, the way I found out was PR Rog's tweet.
Yeah.
Because he was there and he tweeted it.
Right away.
I saw the screenshot. I saw the thing. And then maybe like 15 minutes later, then we got some footage. Like, it was just... Like, it shouldn't matter where Capcom announces these characters. It should always be global in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously it was cool. Like, TGS makes sense, Japan, and then they get to play the character. But, like, you know, you want this to be as hype as possible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I was kind of iffy. And then this character, like, her move list is pretty complex, man. It's really, really layered. I was really hoping that Capcom would, like, have, like, a video really explaining all of, like, this character's potential, because it really confused a lot of people. Especially your V-Trigger at first. We had no idea what the hell it was at first.
Yeah.
Until the command list, which someone took a picture of for us. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Capcom gave us this command list. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to figure it out ourselves. Yeah, and then that's when I made the breakdown video, because it took me a while to just really like look at the footage and try to, figure out what was what.
Yeah.
Because she's a little different than the alpha. Well, she's a lot different actually than her alpha counterpart.
Yeah.
So, Karin is just like a very layered character. She changes her momentum mid-match with her V-Trigger. I like her V-Trigger a lot, actually, just because, like, if you don't compare it to the Alpha Karin, I just like the idea of a character changing when they activate their V-Trigger, not just becoming stronger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It
changes the dynamic of the match.
Yeah, I don't like installs. I just like, you know, when Karin activates her V-Trigger, the opponent will most likely be going on the defensive because she gets a ton of mix-up potential.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So first off, do you even care that they changed Karin? Like, she lost her counter, and she lost her command grab. Do you give a shit?
The command grab, you didn't really see it in Alpha 3. And the counter...
but everyone makes it sound like it was just the craziest shit, you know what I mean?
It would be good in this version of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you gotta balance her out. The counter... Personally, I did use Karin in Alpha 3. She wasn't my main, but she was like a character I used in Alpha... Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So she is a character that I use, and I like using the counter, especially with like C-ism. Because you do the counter, and then you do the super. Because she had the super where she goes upwards.
Did you
like
say C-ism?
It's not...
A-ism.
A-ism.
Yeah. I still know what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
A-ism? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, you do the counter, and then you know that rolling punch that she has? One of her supers, and she does that like upwards. So like... I mean, it gets really predictable, like jump-ins and stuff like that. You do the counter, and she knocks them up in the air, and then you do the super. Like level 3 super or something like that. It did like a shit ton of damage. Like, bad strategy overall, considering her best ism was V-ism. But it was just funny. I don't know. I used the counter, so like not having it is kind of like... It's whatever, but it's at the same time, it's like, oh, I kind of used it for this purpose, and I don't get to do that anymore.
I just don't understand why people are so surprised that they changed Karin. Like, Birdie's different. Like, all his moves, most of them are different, man. He used to be like a charge character like Balrog. You know what I mean? And they changed up Armika. You know, she lost some moves.
Yeah.
So, like, when Karin comes out, everyone's just so surprised that they changed their moves. I don't know what's so surprising. They changed everyone else.
I like the way they changed Karin, because she's, like, still, like, she was, like, usable in Alpha 3, but she wasn't like amazing. She wasn't like super strong. So the fact that like
I wouldn't know.
Like the fact that Karin looks strong right out of the gates in SF5 is good. Like she has tools that no other character has. And that's not only does that make her unique from the other characters in the cast, but also makes her really strong too.
All right, let's talk about some of her moves here. So let's start with her command dash.
Oh my god, that thing is amazing. Well, I shouldn't say it's amazing to think, now that you think.
In a game like this, it's very strong.
It's good, but you can mash
better than Ken.
It's like Ken's V-Skill. You can mash it.
Yeah, this is better though because
you can cancel.
You can cancel it, right?
Like Ken, you can cancel too, but like I don't know. With Karen's just like you're special canceling into it, and then you're... There's
an EX version of it too.
Yeah, and then there's different follow-ups and stuff like that.
Like, Karen's got a normal dash just like any other character, and her dash is fine. But the fact that she's got a command dash just means that she can cancel normals into it, and she's got a lot of normals that you can cancel from.
Yeah.
A lot. Crouching medium punch and crouching medium kick.
Oh god,
and crouching hard punch. And standing hard punch. All you can cancel from this. This is very good, right?
Her crouching medium kick's amazing.
Oh, it looks very good. And her standing medium kick looks good too, man.
A lot of her normals look really good.
And they're you know, they look very similar to the alpha counterpart, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like just fundamentally, Karin looks great. Her movement speed is great. Back and forward.
Jumps are good. Jump angle is good.
Like just, she looks good, man. You know what I mean?
Strong. Looks strong. So far.
Yeah. So her command dash, you can cancel out of it with two different moves. One by just pressing punch, and then she'll do this up palm smash, and you can actually, like, if you time it correctly, where you kind of plink the buttons,
it comes out
kick
right
punch.
away.
It comes out right away, and like apparently it changes the properties. I don't know if it knocks them up higher or whatever, but everyone's calling it like Electric God Wind Fist.
Oh god,
because of the timing. Right? Yeah, it's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that. And then after this palm smash, you can combo into itself, or you can combo into your V-Skill.
Which is amazing in
itself. That's fucking crazy.
Like,
you can juggle into her super with it. Like, this is awesome. Especially when you can choose to do it or not and cancel it from her normals, man. It just
but the big thing is it safe on block? Don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
It looked kind of safe on block. You can combo into it though, right? You can combo into that palm.
Yeah. Yeah, if you Electric God Windfist time it.
Yeah. But that's still pretty sick.
But yeah, like, I don't know, man. It's tough, man. The footage we get honestly isn't that good.
Yeah.
It just
the quality of play
it's
wasn't
just
that
the
good.
quality is just not that good.
Yeah.
It's always tough, right?
Yeah.
And then her other one, she's kind of got this.
She got freaking Akira's Tetsuzanko, man. That's sick.
Well, she does like this strike, and she dashes towards her opponent a little further, but it doesn't knock them down or anything. It just hits them.
Yeah, but the EX version crumples, which is amazing.
Well, yeah. The EX version of her command dash, you can do the follow up. The up strike palm just looks the same. I don't see really any difference to it.
You know how crazy that is, though. Like, you can combo into it and then crumple them, right? And then you can just like free V-Trigger activate and then Rekka them.
And then
like,
super.
Like, amazing.
Oh no, you can't super because you used the EX in the first place.
Yeah.
When they're put in the crumpled state, it looks like the tail end of getting hit by a focus attack. It looks like the next hit automatically juggles them in the air, flips them out.
Yeah.
So you can't do a full ground combo. That's probably why they did that. But it doesn't mean that Karin can't combo anything after, man. She still has a lot of options afterwards. Like Rekka.
But wasn't the trailer, didn't she, like, she already had V-Trigger activated or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. And then she just does the straight up Rekka.
So she crumples them and then Rekkas them.
Yeah,
so that's really strong. So if you get an opportunity where, like, you don't have it activated beforehand, you crumple them, and then you activate afterwards, and then you can, like, combo into the Rekkas after, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be smart. And someone mentioned, too, that when she activates her V-Trigger, that's actually the same animation as when she activates
her V-ism,
yeah. V-ism. You can even see like some silhouettes of her clones. Yeah. That's really cool. I didn't notice that. Yeah, man. So just her command dash alone is awesome. She doesn't need V-Trigger to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of her moves. And then let's talk about her. Which one am I looking at here? Okay, it's the one where her core circle back kick. It's where she kicks twice.
Oh yeah.
This
and then
one's
she's
kind
got
of weird.
That follow up, right?
Yeah, she could do 2 different follow ups depending on the strength. We're assuming. The medium kick version, she'll do 2 kicks, and then she'll do an overhead kick. And this doesn't all combo. Like even if you hit him with the 2 kicks, it won't.
But that's
combo.
good because it gives her a tool to open people up too.
Mm-hmm. And then our hard kick version looks like just like a damage follow up where she kicks 2 more times.
Yeah.
And knocks them away basically. This is just used for punishment. And then just her 2 kicks version, which is just like, you know, 2 kicks.
Yeah. But then that gives the mind game too, because you can go for the light version and then just wait. Because I'm pretty, like, because the medium kick is an overhead and it's not a true block string.
Yeah.
Seems like it's reversal bait.
I can definitely see like online players using the medium kick version like always.
Oh, they're gonna be abusing the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And then like people are gonna mash DP or something if they have one available.
The meta
so then you start doing the light version and then you just block.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about her overhead punch. Some people call it like rainbow strike or wheel
rolling punches, or all sorts of things.
Yeah, I like rainbow strike. Rainbow strike is good. Anyway, she jumps up in the air, strikes you twice, and it's an overhead.
Yeah. So another overhead, like holy crap!
I know.
It's got full.
But this is the one thing I don't like though, is the 2 follow-ups. So we got 1 follow-up where you press down and kick afterwards.
Oh, the slide?
And she'll do a slide. And this combos, actually. Like, if you hit him with the first 2 hits, it'll combo the 3rd hit. So it's not like the double kicks. And then, but if she presses up and kick, she'll do this jumping grab. And it looks basically like Cammy doing a hooligan and then grabbing you.
Yeah.
But if the opponent is crouching, it just whiffs entirely.
Yeah,
and this makes no sense to me. Because when you block this overhead punch, crouch blocking is going to beat both options. So I don't understand what the point of this grab is. I figured maybe it's for when you whiff this rainbow strike really far away and then you jump towards them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the other thing is if they crouch, you flip behind them. So if they're not paying attention, like.
But when you flip behind them, does that mean you're gonna get blown up?
could get blown up, but if not, if they're not paying attention, it gives you an opportunity to apply pressure.
I just don't understand what this jumping grab, like what addition this is supposed to bring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why was this included in her move list? Like when you think of like an option to hit low, you naturally think of an option to hit overhead, you know, or a damage option. So
the problem is if you give her an overhead off of that, it's too strong. That mean, and it's really gimmicky. That means it's like you're being put into a 50-50 from
that word.
From like a special move, right?
Yeah.
Just so it's a free get in, because remember the Fierce Punch version, she goes really far. So if you don't anti-air it or whatever like that, and she gets in, then all of a sudden you're being put
into another situation. Yeah.
You're being put into a 50-50 from full screen away. Like that's not good design. That's not good game design at all. So you can't give her that option. It's too strong. And then in online, then that shit's unblockable. You ain't blocking high-low on reaction in an online setting like that. So way too good if that was the case. Has to be some weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see like what kind of setup people can come up with to really make that grab a practical option.
Maybe it isn't that practical, and then they just use it for combo enders or something like that, or just a way to open people up with an overhead.
But it's basically a reset. You can't combo into it. So
maybe you can juggle into it. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about her V-Skill. So her V-Skill is like this palm smash. Gives you V-gauge on hit or block. Quite a bit actually, especially on counter hit. And if you hold it down, it's got a second version where you hold it down. It has a little bit more startup, does a little bit more damage, and gives you even more V-gauge on hit or block.
It seems like it's more plus on block, too.
Yeah, and it seems like it's more plus on block. And then on top of all this, it neutralizes projectiles.
Yeah, but it's not great.
But as for neutralizing projectiles, it seems kind of hard to time because Karin actually has to attack the projectile.
Yeah.
It's not making her body...
she moves forward too, so your spacing has to be on point. So
with that being said, though, I still feel this is one of the better V skills just because she can combo into it so reliably.
Not just that, it's good as a poke too. Like this is something you can harass the opponent.
So it's like a better version of Nash.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it looks really good, dude.
Then again, Nash can anti-air. Well, I don't know if it can still anti-air.
Oh, yeah.
The beta, it could anti-air.
Nash anti-air. V skill. Because Nash has got that good horizontal range with it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so good for using as like a poke and an anti-air, and it's
you
pretty
can use
quick.
this in footsies technically for
it's really
she moves forward, right? So you can be outside of that range and then boom.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think her V skill is actually really good.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's talk about Karin's V reversal.
Oh yeah, it's her counter.
It's her counter.
The animation, anyways.
The animation, yeah. Honestly, there's nothing really to talk about here. It just looks cool, basically.
Probably easily baitable.
Probably
unintentionally baitable.
Probably gets her blown up, and yeah, it's like, wow, this is from Alpha. That's cool. I'm never gonna use it. Yeah. Am I missing anything here? Nope. Okay. So when Karin activates her V-Trigger, it allows her to be able to use her Rekkas. Pretty cool, pretty unique. Even though she's got a 2-bar V-gauge, the duration is quite long. Quite long. She'll be able to use it for a while, so it's definitely something you want to activate right away to get the most value out of. If she does any Rekka, she will lose a little bit of her bar, but a very tiny amount. We're talking like less than 10%. And then all the follow-ups are free except...
the backdash.
The backdash option, let's talk about that first. First off, she loses a lot, man. Like over 25% of her bar when she does the backdash.
Which is fair because...
which is really important because that bar is huge in the first place. And second of all, you can't let this girl just backdash whenever the fuck she wants to, man. It's too crazy.
Too good. Because then she can backdash, V-skill, backdash, whatever. Like, it's way too good. You can't let her spam it. So I think that was a smart design decision on their part.
I really like in the trailer, too, because it shows her doing the backdash into her V-skill. In the corner. It's really cool, man.
I wish on counter hit, her V-skill would wall splat. That'd be cool.
One thing, just going to backtrack a little bit. I forgot to talk about her Rainbow Strike, or overhead. Her EX version is her reversal. She goes straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's literally like her only reversal option. So I guess that's a weakness of Karin. She doesn't have strong reversal options.
But that's fine. She has strong grounded options to control. Like she's got good anti-airs, man.
Yeah, she does. Like her crouching hard punch, since she can cancel out of it, you can go like crouching hard punch, anti-air into command dash. Like some Ibuki shit going on here, right?
Like the thing is, you can't give every character in the game an invincible reversal.
But can you give every character a way to deal with projectiles? Because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
With V-Skills. But I agree with you, Killy. I agree with you, man.
Like it's just too dumb. Then it dilutes your mind games because it's like, oh, I got a bait. So then your game becomes bait, like just baiting. It becomes Rising Thunder. That's what happens.
Oh my god, dude, you're terrible today, man. Okay, so let's go back to the Rekkas. Anyways, she's got a lot of different follow-ups to her Rekkas, but to summarize them as best I can. If you guys haven't watched my breakdown, one is used as a combo finisher. One is used to add a mix-up game of a high grab, a cross-up, and a low. That's a lot.
And a frame trap.
And the frame trap. Like
she gets every tool possible to open someone up.
Yeah, like this is gonna be hella V reversal bait. Like
yes.
People are gonna V reversal this like non-stop, man. At the beginning.
The smart people use V reversal.
Like this is one of the strongest reasons to use V reversal is when Karin's wrecking you down.
Yeah.
And that's why her backdash is so important in this part, because if they don't use a V reversal, they're gonna DP, and if you backdash that DP with that free crush counter is gonna be hella worth to sacrifice that bar. But yeah, man, like her overhead option looks very strong. The fact that it inherently like frame traps them, because these are all not true block strings, is pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of holes in them. I think like a beginner Karin player is just gonna constantly use the cross up option and just mash down punch. And it's going to work for a while, but when you play against somebody good that understands there's holes in these Rekkas, and then they test you with their reversal, it's going to be kind of frustrating for a new Karin player. Like a good one is going to have to understand conditioning their opponent first, and then blowing them up after, you know. Because, you know, this looks really overwhelming at first, but pretty soon we're going to see like the kind of gimmicks that Karin players are going to do. And it's going to be, you know, the Karin player does have to think about their way they're going to establish this offense.
Oh, it's definitely going to be super gimmicky online. That's for sure.
The cross-up part, for sure, people are going to...
But at least you can see the cross-up, like...
a mile away.
Because of the route requires her to go down punch first. So once you see that, then you know, like, a cross-up is possible. It's not like she can go first part of the Rekka into the cross-up. Then it becomes an unreactable mind game between all of her other options. So at least there's a visual tell before the cross-up happens.
And with that being said, that's not to say her Rekkas aren't good. If you open up your opponent once with this, you're getting blown up by Super. It's gonna hurt. Her Super does a lot of damage. Her Super is really good.
And you can combo into it in like so many
It's
different
so
ways.
flexible. It is crazy how easy it is to confirm into her Super. Off a Rekka, off a juggle, this thing looks beast.
Yeah.
And Karin's normals are so damn good. It's so easy to combo into V-Trigger. Standing hard punch or crouching hard punch. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? This is crazy. And then your Rekka's still up. Like I saw when she uses her Super, it doesn't drain her meter at all. Like you're gonna be Rekka City right after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's nuts, man. I really think Karin looks strong in this game. Right now. It did it. You know, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at her potential. And I'm saying to myself, just honestly, if I don't, let's say we don't even look at the Rekkas, she still looks strong. Her normals are excellent.
Her normals are really good.
Jumping, everything looks good.
Yeah.
Like, she looks like an excellent character. I'm saying that right now.
she still probably loses to Bison.
What the fuck? So random, Killy.
I think she's gonna, just because Bison's not.
Bison doesn't care. You'd be blocking scissors anyways.
Yeah, man. Fuck your Rekkas.
Oh,
block my scissors.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be a perfect time for Karin's counter move. Oh wait.
Oh wait. Oh, dude, so true. That's funny, man. But yeah, man, Karin, she looks so strong.
She looks really strong. Fundamentally, she looks really, really strong.
Mm-hmm. But once again, in her Rekka string, she's got that jumping grab, man. I just don't understand what the point of it is. Like,
but at least in the Rekka strings, it's practical.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely practical within the Rekka strings.
Because they want to block that overhead punch combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you throw in the command grab, you're like, surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. The only thing I don't know, it hasn't been confirmed yet, is if she can do her backdash after her second rep, the down hard punch rep. Hasn't been confirmed yet. I'm curious if she can. But if not, it's not a big deal anyways. But
yeah.
But I'm just curious because the command list, it isn't actually showing you every combination. She can actually do like her.
She can end her. Yeah, she can end it earlier.
Yeah, with her down kick, up kick, and versions early, just after her first rep, except for the cross up, of course.
Yeah.
So, but I can see why Capcom didn't write that down because then her move list would be they would go off the page. They literally just wrote enough to fit on the page. I'm looking at it right now, so that makes sense.
The easiest way to do this is if they did it like tab, like indents.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like Guilty Gear has when they display their move list, they indent it, so you can see like all the follow-up options, and understand that it's a follow-up option, unlike the way it's being displayed. Like the way they presented it in the move list isn't quite clear.
Yeah, I tried to make it as clear as I could in my breakdown video. But for the most part, most people understand it now.
Yeah, I guess another thing to note is they actually simplified the motions for the Rekka. So that was an interesting design decision. So instead of like doing the full Rekka motion each time,
oh yeah,
it's now just you do it once and then it's like button and a directional input.
Yeah.
So like simplifying the Rekka motions is also like a new design decision for them.
I'm fine with it, man. Like, it's not like you don't want it to be tough like Yang from Third Strike. Holy shit, man.
Like, I guess you can argue it would be like artificial execution barrier. I don't know. It's not enough to really like detract from it.
It's not like we're going full blown Smash Brothers here.
Yeah.
Or Rising Thunder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's still some commands to it.
There's still an initial,
and it won't cause crazy
level.
overlapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, like
But yeah, it's just something to note that they actually like. They intentionally like simplified Rekkas from a executional standpoint.
I have no problem with that as long as it's not like a move that needs to have a barrier, like a SPD,
a DP or a
DP or a flash kick or something, right? Like that's when we get issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Karin looks strong. We both agree.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So two returning characters and
okay, so this is another thing that threw me off with Karin, because the way it is right now, guys, is we got 4 characters left. 2 of those 4 characters are going to be brand new characters to the series, Street Fighter V series, and we know one of those brand new characters is from Brazil, and that'll be announced in October.
Yeah.
Anyways, what kind of threw me off now is that they said out of the 3 characters, 2 are going to be classic and 1 is going to be a character we haven't seen in a while. And we haven't got any Third Strike characters, right? Right? We don't have any Third Strike characters. Right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So I thought for sure we're going to get, a Third Strike character like Alex or Urian, but I guess not. It turns out it's
possible.
Karin.
Well, it's not at TGS, but obviously it's still possible to get those 2.
Well, not from what Capcom said now, because when I said they said a character hasn't seen in a while, that's Karin. So now we're down to the 2 classics.
Yeah, but the Third Strike characters, we haven't seen some of the Third Strike characters in a while. There's some that have been in SF4, so obviously you strike them off the list. And I think one of the reveals is in New York, so that's like perfect opportunity for Alex.
But what I'm saying is, like, Capcom already like gave us details on what these last characters are, and they said that 2 of them are going to be classic, like that you'll see in any Street Fighter.
I don't know. Don't believe Ondor's lies.
Don't believe the company that. Okay, all
Don't
right.
believe their lies. It's like Ono.
If
You trust Ono? I don't trust
Okay,
Ono.
let's just say that what they're saying is the truth. Okay, because if you look at the character, I wish I had that screenshot. Shit, but it shows. It lays it out really well, where you can see the characters on the left side are all classic characters, and then the alpha, and then the new ones on the right. But anyways, if they are going to be classic characters, who would they be? A lot of people think it's going to be Zangief and Dhalsim, because those are the archetypes we're really missing.
Yeah,
but what really blows me
like...
away is that, like, these characters, Capcom is like announcing them so fast. We're going to get all the characters announced before even Christmas, and we still got a while to go for the game that comes out in March. And you would think they'd put it in the order of the most hype. You know what I mean? Like,
it makes sense to
like the last
do all the reveals right away, though, because you want to get that done and over with, and then you can work on fine-tuning and balancing, right, now that the entire cast is in.
Yeah.
And then it also allows you to focus on the other features of the game, like the online, the whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a bad idea to do all the character reveals first. But yeah, leaving these last 2, it depends. It's really hard to tell, like, who the last 2 characters are. Yeah, they say one thing, but they can change it up altogether. Like, there's rumors saying that there'll be one more grappler character and a really annoying zoning character. There's a lot of people that fit into that archetype.
If we go just based off the characters revealed, you know, Nash seems to be a central core of Street Fighter V's story.
Yeah.
With the jewel on his head, it insinuates the Illuminati's involved, which means Urian, for example.
Or Gil.
And the fact that, you know,
it's Nash, so
it's Nash means
so
that Guile has to be involved. You know, this clown has been standing in front of his gravestone with his dog tags for like 10+ years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, Guile would fit that niche as a annoying zoning character.
But Urian could fit it too, because of the way Urian works, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the SF5 game engine, like, he'd be an annoying. Like, how do you deal? Like, Urian can shoot his projectile at a 45-degree angle. Now, how do you deal with that in SF5? In SF3, you could parry it, but in SF5, that would make it really
does 2
good.
hits. But yeah, and then, you know, it's not a coincidence that Nash is not designed the same way he was in previous games, where he was like Guile. Give Guile more identity, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And, like, obviously, I'm not concerned whether these characters will be in the game or not. They're
They're all going to make it into the game at one point.
They're all going to be in the game.
DLC.
DLC.
It's coming.
100%. Okay? So I'm not concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the initial 16 roster.
Yeah, the core 16.
Yeah. And then, you know, it's strange we don't even hear Akuma. Akuma has been in, like, every single Street Fighter game after.
Yeah, but Akuma's usually like a hidden character. So that's still up on the table.
I can see Akuma as like one of the first, like, DLC characters for sure. You know, Capcom still wants to make the DLC roster hype. They're gonna want characters that people are gonna want to pay for or play for.
Yeah.
To earn. So they're gonna, you know, save some of the really cool characters for after the game launches. For sure. I'm just really interested on this 16 character roster. Some people don't like it. Some people do. We got a pretty good mix of character archetypes so far. But there has been some weird castings, like Vega is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, you know, the potential of some other characters that could have been in it. Armika is strange, but then Ono, of course, pushing to get that character in there. So, you know, we're going to have to wait and see. But for the most part, Karin was really important to put in this game. Like, really important. To really satisfy people that have really been voting on those polls.
Yeah.
Love her or hate her, she is one of the most requested characters for a long-ass time.
Yes.
And it's so fucking important for Capcom to follow up on that and add a character like this to the game. So they got that covered. So now we just have to sit back and see who fill up the last 4 remaining spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. let's finish up the Street Fighter V part with talking about some of the Nash nerfs.
Okay.
So, anyways, Nash recently received a nerf where he can't cancel his Sonic Boom startup with V-Trigger anymore. And his V-Trigger also got nerfed. It's slower startup, so it's easier for the opponent to see it coming.
And like Zen mentioned, he can't like link his target combo from like stand short or something like that.
Like you can't go jab strong, short forward?
I don't know. He didn't really specify like the extent of the nerf, but he said you can't link into his target combos from stand short.
So my question is, what the hell's going on with this character right now? What are they experimenting with?
They're not experimenting with anything. They're just fucking making him the worst character. Like, they're solidifying the fact...
But he already was the worst character.
That's why I'm saying they're solidifying the fact that he's the worst character.
I feel like they are nailing nails on the coffin. And then, like, the patch after the beta, they, like, put the coffin down in the pit. And then this latest patch after Karin, they threw the dirt on it. Like, I really don't understand what the hell's going on with this character. I really hope that, you know... we see some justification for this.
Well, there's been some also...
Because Nash is so fucking popular. Everyone loves Nash. Everyone plays this character.
They did buff him, though. His it looks like they buffed his normals, though. Like, the forward...
Okay.
The spinning back fist...
Yeah.
Has better recovery. So it's like... Before, it was really unsafe, man.
Oh,
like,
dude. It was terrible, man. You can get stuffed for days, dude.
So, looks like they decreased the recovery. So you can actually, like, use it now.
More spammable?
Yeah. So it's, like, something you can use a little bit more. So it looks like...
they're
buffing his normals. So maybe there's some compensation for it.
Yeah, there's some crush counters from too, right?
Yeah, and it crumples now. Spinning back fist crush counter crumples instead of an extended stun.
Okay. Some improvement.
So some slight improvements, but overall they're like nerfing all his most interesting tools.
It just seems like when we're talking about his buffs, it seems like we're trying to convince ourselves that there's hope for this character and he's getting buffed. No. But I don't know, man. I can't hide the tears for this character. It's
really hard to like. Okay, like, yeah, we can bitch about all the information that we've heard so far, but we don't know the extent of all of his changes. So it could be
that... the dumb part is some of this information we're receiving is wrong.
Yeah, some of it might be incorrect. So who knows? And so I don't want to like bash Combo Fiend or Capcom.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
It sounds like the character gets worse and worse with every new edition because all the people that's been noted is all the bad changes. And I don't know if there's any good changes that he received. So it just sounds like he just gets nerfed after nerf after nerf. Right?
I just like sharing my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just be like a drone.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, you know, trust Capcom, you know what I mean? It's important to give feedback. Even if you're wrong and you don't have, you know, the whole picture in front of you, it's always good to give feedback, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's just... We all want the game to be the best it can be.
Yeah,
that's all.
I just don't know in their infinite wisdom why they're nerfing all these different tools with Nash. Yet they're buffing Bison. Stan Roundhouse being his crush.
Maybe
counter.
Bison's gonna be the boss character, man.
Like it doesn't make any sense. Stan Roundhouse is his crush counter now, and it's plus on block. So like not only does it link into his crouching strong normally, it's now plus. It's plus on block anyways, and it's his crush counter. So there's really no reason for you not to abuse it.
And his Inferno's core circle back punch now.
Yeah, so it's like even easier. So now you're just gonna go stand roundhouse on hit on block. It doesn't matter. Just keep throwing that button out. It is so godlike. Can you imagine what it is like as an anti-air crush counter anti-air now? Like holy crap! What kind of decision was that? That was hella questionable.
I don't know, man. Maybe one of the lead directors plays Bison, dude.
Holy crap! This character gets more out of control.
But like, I was watching some of the TGS stream, and they said they got some of the beta testers were on the stream playing. Okay. And no offense to them, but it didn't look like they had any idea what they were doing. So if these guys are the guys testing the games, you know, I'm getting worried. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they're doing some more experimentation. They made Nakali a charge character now.
Yeah, that was a really interesting...
Two of his main moves, the Berserker Slash is a back-forward charge, and his DP is a down-up charge, like a flash kick.
Indirect nerfs.
Yeah, it's an indirect nerf. People are now saying Macaulay is the worst character in the game because of this. They're saying he's ass now. This is just word on the street. But I just find it amusing that they're experimenting with this guy being a charge character instead of Vega.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Vega's not a charge character, so it's like, what the hell's going on right now? No, you know, they're really testing out some weird stuff in this game. You know, it's far from the finished version, but I just find it amusing. That's all. I really want to play Macaulay. I really do.
I kind of lost interest in Macaulay after they made him charge.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like that. I can understand why they do it, but I don't really like that.
Well, what about Bison? He's a charge.
Yeah, but he's also the best character in the game.
He doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't care.
That's funny, man. Bison. Okay, so we're done talking about Street Fighter V stuff. I'm gonna close this up by talking to you about some KOF.
Okay.
Because Killy, you're a huge KOF fanboy, and I'd like to hear your thoughts, just on the trailer alone.
Okay. Well, the trailer is just an alpha build, so really it's like there's a lot of people who've been really complaining about it, right? And I think it's just super early to really form an opinion.
When you say people, are you involving me as well? Because I did complain about it myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you in there too.
Okay.
So there's no point in like complaining about it because it's alpha. It's super early, like really, really early.
Do you agree with me though? This was a terrible idea as a trailer though.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
if they just sent us some high-res screenshots, you know what I mean?
Nah, people would still complain about the.
You think so?
The aesthetics and the look.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, I will agree. Like the graphics aren't the greatest. They don't look terrible. Like keep this in mind. Those aren't terrible graphics. They're obviously not like up to snuff for next generation. Like yeah, they definitely look like PS2, like almost PS2 graphics.
Dude, I thought that trailer was a fucking fan-made trailer. I thought it was a joke, dude. Like, I did not believe it was real.
It looks early and it looks kind of last gen. Like it doesn't look up to snuff. So,
if that was released on April Fool's, it would have been the best trailer of all time. I would have finally been fooled. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't consider those terrible graphics. They're not the greatest, but they're not terrible. Like there's obviously way worse. But
okay, man.
That's another thing. But the other thing is I'm concerned with gameplay. I'm not concerned with that.
You're concerned with what, sorry?
Gameplay.
Okay, okay.
So for me, like the critical factor of 14 is that it has to play like a good KOF game, like a main entry series KOF game.
Can I interrupt you for a sec?
Yeah.
So KOF 12 came out and they tried to dumb down the game. And it practically failed, didn't it? Wasn't the game just ass?
Well, yeah, the game was terrible, but the mechanics they included was dumb because you're fishing. The problem with the KOF 12 meta was that I think it was CD or whatever would on a counter hit, it basically create this custom combo type mode.
Okay.
So you land a counter hit and then you go to town, right? You get this like weird custom combo kind of thing going on.
Okay.
So the meta kind of devolved into like fishing for this counter hit.
I hate fishing metas, man.
Yeah. So that's why like 12 wasn't that great.
But then 13 comes out.
Yeah,
and
13
SNK
was amazing.
is like, fuck you if you're new to fighting games. We're gonna go balls deep and we're gonna have like every mechanic we can fit in this game.
Yeah. And it's also like one of the best fighting games of that generation.
I agree. But it like you know what I mean? Like they just throw you in there. They don't give a fuck is what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like they just tried to make it the best fighting game it can be. Basically. With zero interferences.
And easily it was one of the best fighting games of that generation, but it was also one that barely anybody could play. Like the barrier was so high that a lot of people were turned off from getting
it. And that's the problem, man, when you're a game developer and you're looking at it from a business perspective and as, a game maker's perspective, you run into these problems where you got to make your game accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sucks, but that's just the way it is.
People didn't want to put in the work, man.
Dumbed down because of that, so
people didn't want to put in the work. Too much.
That's the way it is, man. It's the new
I
generation.
I know, man. This generation wants instant gratification. They just want they just want to push 4 buttons and win. Let's get some X factor in there, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
They want that instant gratification, but like KOF, you have to work hard for those wins, and it was like satisfying from all. The neutral game was satisfying, and the execution was satisfying.
Yeah.
Because when you pull off an HD combo, like, you don't understand the feeling when you pull off your first HD combo into a Neomax cancel.
You just get your rocks off.
Oh my god, it's one of the most gratifying things ever.
Oh my god, dude. Oh man, you should have made some tutorials, man, back in the day. Missed an opportunity for that.
It was really tough.
Yeah.
I was still learning the game too.
Yeah, you were. And then you realized the godliness of KOF.
Oh god, so good. Still one of my favorite fighters.
But who knows, man? You know, at least we're getting a new one. At least we're getting a KOF.
Yeah, I mean,
14.
the fact the
logo looks sick. If they just had a black screen and just showed the
that might have
KOF
been
14
more
logo,
yeah,
that would have been hype as fuck, right?
That would have been very effective. But yeah, everyone would have wanted to know, like, oh, is it 3D, is it 2D, stuff like that. But the other key part is netcode. The netcode has to be good with that game.
Dude,
13
honestly,
netcode was trash.
Killy, can you give me like a good description or a comparison? Because I honestly have never played KOF online before. I don't know how bad the netcode is. Can you explain it to me how bad it is?
It's atrocious. Like, it's unplayable. Console version, it's unplayable. Steam version, it's slightly playable.
What kind of netcode does it use? Rollback?
No, delay base.
So you're underwater.
Yeah. So like, the game, because KOF is very offense oriented, and you have those multiple jump arcs. One of them being short hops. You cannot, for the love of God, block short hops on reaction online. So people would over abuse hops. It's impossible to block online. So like, you end up in this bad habit of mashing buttons, because that's what's going to beat the hop is buttons. So you end up mashing buttons, and then it creates this like bad habits, because the meta is so heavily involved on different ways to beat that, right? Frame traps, changing like your timing of the hops and all that stuff. There's so many ways. So like, you just develop bad habits, bad KOF habits when you're playing online, because like, one, you over abuse hops because you think it's good, when really they're like okay. So you over abuse it, and you can't block it online, so it makes it seem like good. And then you start mashing to beat the hops, and then you're like, ugh, it's bad.
That's funny.
You just develop these really bad habits. So the key thing to note is that netcode is really important. And SNK was bought out by a Chinese company. I think the company was called Tencent or something like that.
Tencent?
Not Tencent, but
okay.
Tencent. Or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
But anyways, this company has worked with SNK in the past, because they created their own fighting game, and I don't know how to pronounce the fighting game, but it's abbreviated as like XDZW or something like that.
Okay.
It's basically a KOF ripoff. Like, the characters, a lot of the characters play like existing KOF characters.
Okay.
Like, some of the moves are like straight borrowed in some way, but everything's kosher with them because they actually got the license from SNK to use some SNK characters. So Terry Bogard and Benny Maru were included in the game later on. So
weird.
That game also used rollback netcode, and it was actually, I think people said it was good or playable or whatever like that. So the company is obviously like a big, like, you know, they respect SNK and their IP.
So you're saying there's hope.
Because
they used a good netcode before, so there's hope that this new game will have good netcodes.
So the big thing is that, okay, SNK has had financial issues, but with the recent acquisition from Tencent or whatever, that Chinese company, there's some hope. Like, it just feels like right now they're not really investing much money in their fighting games. So I'm hoping this Chinese company that's bought SNK helps them in the development in some way. So the most important one is the netcode. So even if the game comes out looking like this, I'd be okay with it if, one, it plays like a KOF fighting game, like a good one. Two, the netcode is good. Those are the two most important things for me.
So you don't give a shit that it's 3D, right?
No, I don't. Like, obviously I prefer sprites because the sprites in 13 are gorgeous. But I understand
they put so much work into 12 and 13 with those sprites. I don't understand why they didn't use them again.
Because the development time is
you still think it would take a long time, even though they already have the sprites drawn out?
Yeah, because if you do new characters and all that stuff, or if you create new moves, new specials, new whatever, because you have to consider this. They have to new stages, right? And then maybe there's new moves, new supers, new mechanics that you got to animate, right? People have to understand. It took SNK 6 months to do one character. One character, 6 months. And the way they did it was they did the 3D models, and then they do the sprites on top of the 3D models, just to try to cut down on the time to develop a character. But with that technique, it still took them 6 months to do one character. It's not feasible, man. It's not feasible in this day and age to do something like that. So you have to find this middle ground. So preferably, it would have been smart if they used Guilty Gear Xr's technique, but obviously that wasn't readily available to them at the time. They did, like that ArcSys did release the technique on how they did it at GDC or something. They had a conference, and like that conference actually they talked about like how they actually made the game, like how they did the graphics and stuff like that. And and it reached that happy medium of being easy to develop because it's 3D, but yet retaining the look of sprites. So, like, yeah, obviously I would have liked to see KOF, if they're going to shift to 3D, I would like to see them to use that technique, but obviously that's not happening. And I do prefer sprites, but it is what it is. I understand why they shifted to 3D. It's just cheaper to develop that way. But yeah, the graphics don't look up to snuff, and the sprites in 13 look way better and all that stuff, but my concern is it has to play good, and the netcode has to be good.
It should be the foundation for any fighting game.
Exactly. Like, obviously, aesthetics plays some role into this, but yeah, my personal main concern is gameplay.
So you're just more reserved. You're just like, I don't give a shit about this trailer. This doesn't mean anything until the game is out.
Because it's early. It's early.
Okay,
right?
I hear you. Okay. All right.
So I want people to put it into perspective. That's all I want. Is just
It is a very funny topic, though, man.
Like, don't start trashing it right off the bat and stuff. Okay. Yes, I can understand why people are trashing it, but don't just trash it right off the gate.
What the hell is with these pachinko jokes, man? I don't understand this shit. Explain this to me.
The direction of SNK and that also that Chinese companies, they want to take these IPs that SNK have and focus more on like incorporating into other genres of gaming rather than just fighting games.
Okay.
So like in Japan, pachinko machines are very popular. So there's always like they always create themed pachinko machines. Like Guilty Gear had a themed pachinko machine. KOF, I think, had one too, or like some SNK properties like Samurai Showdown or Samurai Spirits had it.
Okay.
All sorts of things. So like the running joke is like, yeah, they're gonna just invest in pachinko machines all day. They're just really popular.
So they're just trolling, basically.
They're just really popular in Japan.
Okay. I don't really care if it's 3D. I understand that's the part. The only thing I'm concerned about is that this game comes out in 2016 release. It says.
Yeah.
That's kind of soon.
I just hope it doesn't.
Is there room in this world for KOF 14?
There's always room for a fighting game. It's up to the player base to determine which games they're going to play and which games they decide to support. The game doesn't die until nobody plays the game. That's it. Like you just people got to play. That's it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's hard to compete with SF5 and because Guilty Gear and Revelator and SF5 are coming out roughly the same time frame.
That pisses me off, man. Because I wanted Revelator to come out much sooner. I really wanted them to push out that American expansion release.
Yeah.
Because Revelator looks awesome.
That's gonna.
I want to put some time into it, but you know, when Street Fighter V comes out, I pretty much have to dedicate all my time to that game.
Yeah.
So you know. It sucks. You're obviously going to put some time in Revelator.
I'm going to put all my time into Revelator.
So, you know, maybe we can get some content from you to compensate for that.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll see how it goes, right? But we'll see if there's still love for KOF when that comes out, right? If it can somehow
find a way into
the market with those two other games.
So that if they get released around roughly the same time, it's going to be tough. But yeah.
It is. It's like the equivalent of releasing Mad Max when Metal Gear 5 came out.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also like the idea of having 3 AAA fighting game titles out at the same time. Because
You like that?
Yeah, because those would be 3 fighting games I would love to play
Okay.
concurrently. So I wouldn't mind that. But at the same time, yeah, I can see like it would be hard to juggle your time. Because trying to get good at 3 different fighting games is really tough.
Oh yeah, man. Excuse me. Really tough.
So yeah, if they
Especially
stagger
if you
the
have a job.
releases. Yeah, exactly. If they stagger the releases, you can try to compensate that way and other things. But at the same time, having 3 good fighting game titles out at the same time would be kind of sick from a spectator's point of view too.
Okay. We've been talking for a bit here. I think you should get some sleep, Kelly, so you can go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll work on some more stuff. And that's pretty much it for this podcast, guys. Kelly's feeling better now, so we'll have some more podcasts up in the future. If there's any topics you guys would like us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Or anything about this podcast itself, if there's anything you guys would like to add on your opinions or whatnot. But yeah, you guys, have a good day, and thanks for taking the time to watch. Peace.